sitting here next to Nick Buttitta. He is the owner and winemaker at Rosa Wines in Kelseyville. And Nick, if you have a few things to say, introduce yourself a little bit. Tell me about your winery.
Great, I'd be happy to. Rosa Vineyards, I started planting grapes in Lake County, California in 1994. And as I started, Barbera was one of the first vines that I went ahead and planted. There was some real family reasons more than anything else. I always, even though this is my first time in Italy, there was always a family connection with Italy because all of my grandparents were born here. And I felt that as I started to plant that I had some real motivations to plant the Barbera. I'd had experience with August Sebastiani. I'd sold grapes to him when I was farming in Sonoma County, and that was actually his favorite wine was the Barbera. And I'd asked him if he'd be interested if I planted some Barbera in Sonoma County, and he told me, no, you can't plant Barbera where you are, it's too cool. So when I moved to Lake County subsequently, I was able to, in a warmer climate, and I felt that, we have this volcanic soil, we have the warm days, but we still have the cool nights. That was a perfect opportunity to plant Barbera. So that was one of the first vines that I put in the ground, and I've been very, very pleased, very happy with it. We've gotten good response on the consumer level. The California Barberas are slightly different from the Italian Barberas, partly due to the growing season, and I think partly due to our winemaking also. But we at Rosa d'Oro, we do try to be more traditional style. So we're kind of not real jammy, plummy California style. We're more in the traditional European style, a little more mineral in the finished product, partly because of the volcanic soil we're on. But I think we made a real good choice with doing Italian varietals in our area, and I'm very pleased with the way the wines have come out. Very happy to be here, and I'm really looking forward to the events of the day, and I'm just thrilled that I have the opportunity to be here and show some of the people that are going to be here what we're doing in California, and I hope that we can meet up to the standards that the people here have set, because they already have set very high standards for Barbera. I don't think the majority of the world realizes what a great wine Barbera is. And I think this is an opportunity to let people know that this is a wine that is top flight wine. It's up there with any of the French varietals that are so well known and so popular in the world. I was just asked what I felt the future for Barbera wines was, and I think the future for Barbera is very, very good. When I started planting the Barbera, a couple of my kids thought I was planting too much of it for what we might be able to sell, but I think they're learning that it was a good thing I planted the quantity that I did. It has become, in our tasting room, it's our #1 wine. And I think events like this and like the Barbera event that's coming up in California are going to help to bring to the public the ability to taste Barbera and recognize the quality wine that it really is. And I think the popularity of Barbera will continue to increase. It's important for us, as the popularity increases, to make sure that we keep the quality at the level that it should be too, because consumers will want the absolute best wine that they can afford. And it's our responsibility to make the best wine that we can make, and as growers, to grow the best grapes that we can grow. And in my particular case, I probably spend more time in the field than I do in the winery, and I really feel that that's where the quality begins. Barbera, it's such a prolific grape, if you want it to be, that we can tend very easily to produce more grapes, more tonnage per acre or hectare than is necessary, and we still get a good wine. But for really top quality wine, if we reduce the crop, we get more intense flavors, and in that case, really bring the quality of the Barbera to the level that it should be, and the kind of quality that discerning people will appreciate. I was asked how I felt, how I perceived that consumers feel about Barbera, and I made the statement that I think it varies by area. Coming from Northern California, I think that because people around us, the consumers there, are somewhat familiar with wines and are willing to try a variety of different wines, that we have a better consumer base, more people drinking Barbera in our local region. Other areas of the United States, for example, along the East Coast, the few people that I've talked to there, distributors in particular, they seem to be very much more oriented to imported Italian Barberas, which they're very aware of, but not so much the California Barberas. They question the quality, the viability of them in the marketplace, and so on. Getting back to our local area, Northern California, people there, I feel, are more oriented, much more like the people here, where they enjoy a meal, enjoy sitting down with friends, enjoy just having a glass of wine as a social outlet, as something you just, hey, I just found this great Barbera wine, and they share it with a friend. I think that has helped the spread of Barbera. We did a fundraiser dinner about a year ago in our local area for the local hospital, and I was asked to submit different wines to pair with the foods, and the gentleman who made the final decision was very well versed in wines. He'd been in the supermarket business for years, and he felt that the Barbera was the best match overall to go with all the different courses that were being served that evening, and he was very, very comfortable doing that. And I think that as more and more people become exposed to Barbera with events such as this, that then they'll give it a try and they'll discover that they like it. They'll discover there's a variety of Barberas available, and it's almost like going into a candy store and not being able to make up your mind which one you want to try. I know that when we get together, like last night at dinner, we tasted different wines from different areas, and they were all good, and it was interesting to try a lot of different wines, and it's fun for people, and I think that's part of what I see here. Even though I've only been here a couple days, I see an enthusiasm for what people are doing and what they're enjoying this wine and sharing this wine with other people. And as such, it's an emotion that I think is very, very valuable, and I think as people see it in other people, experience it themselves, that it just improve their whole life, their whole lifestyle, and you get a lot more joy out of life, and Barbera is part of that, and I'm happy to be part of that myself.